morning, Tennessee Valley.
I was going to take it.
You was going to take it this morning.
I was going to say good morning, Tennessee Valley. First day of spring. I'm sure
Not the first day of spring, the first Friday.
First Friday, that's what I meant. First Friday of spring, and hopefully, you know, we got to quit basing on the groundhog.
That's right.
Everyone's looking for him. I saw on Facebook somebody posted a wanted photo. He's wanted in several states for lying.
Right.
And so I think
several had snow on their first day of spring.
Yeah. Well, actually, someone's getting the second a set of snow in spring, I guess you'd say. I think a guy on Facebook, a friend of mine, was posting that they had just like 4 or 5 inches and was getting another 3 or 4 inches up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, that area.
That's why we moved to Tennessee, James.
Yeah. And it was funny. When we moved to Tennessee, they said, oh, there's no snow down here. The weather, you know, this is so nice. And we came down here in the hotel, spent the night in the hotel to go out to look at the house. And we woke up and had an inch of snow.
Yep.
Had not seen any snow up north in Indiana, but come down here to Tennessee, this nice weather, and had an inch of snow. And we still didn't have any snow until like a month later in Indiana.
Right. But the good part was by noon that day, the snow was gone.
Yeah, but they still was snow on the car.
You still had to wipe the car off.
Yeah, and then they tried to get away and say, oh, that's the worst winter we've ever had because we had snow. I think we got 6 or 7 inches that time. And they said that was the worst snow, worst winter since such and such a thing. Like, yeah.
Then the next winter came. Huh?
It's just a ruse. I mean, they keep us northerners up north. They let it snow.
That's right.
First Friday in spring, we're excited. A lot more Fridays, hopefully in spring. And you want to talk about the guests who we have on today? Who we're going to have?
Right. We're always excited.
Yes.
Always excited about our guests.
With the flowers.
You don't like the flowers? I'm hiding behind the flowers today. We have Stacey Alexander from Paint the Town Periwinkle. She's going to be back to talk a little more about her event. That's coming up very soon. And then we have from Life Circle Women's Healthcare, we have Dr. Cheryl Buckwalter with us today.
Also a northerner.
Also a northerner, right.
That's all us northern. We had to move down here and help everybody out.
That's right. And we're really excited. Both of them have some great things to talk about. Very informational things, James.
Yes. And like I said, Stacey, we've had her on the show before, and if we run out of things, she's got 9 children. 9 children.
Well, she's on her 9th. She's on her 9th.
Right.
Ninth is here with her today.
She's probably only halfway through. She's got 9 more.
9 more to go.
You didn't know that, but you know, she does now,
she
right?
She does now.
So she has a lot of kids. We can start talking about the children. You know,
That's
we can
right.
Show us the pictures. Show us the pictures. Talk about the kids, and we can fill the time up.
Definitely.
But we'll let her tell what she's here for and everything. It's a good cause and everything. And we have some other stuff, but we want to get to our guests.
That's right.
We get to the guests and talk about the guests, let them tell them why they're here and everything. And I guess let's go to commercial break. And folks, grab a cup of coffee. We've got a few minutes. And come right back here and listen to what we have with our guests.
Logan Thompson, attorneys at law, have built a firm offering quality legal services to the people and businesses of Southeast Tennessee. We have achieved expertise in all areas of law in order to represent our clients in a manner they need, deserve, and have come to expect. Logan Thompson, with 9 attorneys and an extensive and competent support staff, is available to provide representation in various legal areas, including family law, Social Security benefits, personal injury, criminal defense, workmen's compensation, as well as business and complex litigation matters. At Logan Thompson, we have been building a tradition of legal services for over 40 years. We have developed the finest legal services and are proficient in providing you with representation you can trust. Give us a call at 423-476-2251 to schedule your free consultation.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in. come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy.
Welcome back, folks. We're glad to be here today with Dr. Cheryl Bookwalter from Life Circle Women's Healthcare. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
And you have something special you're going to talk with us about today, right?
Yes.
And go ahead. I'll let you talk a little bit about yourself and what you're here to speak about today.
My name, as you said, is Dr. Cheryl Bookwalter. I'm with Life Circle Women's Healthcare, and I'm an OBGYN, obstetrician, gynecologist. I do both obstetrics and gynecology. And I just have a little bit of a personal interest in treatment and diagnosis of osteoporosis.
Okay.
Explain to us the ones that cannot pronounce the word. What exactly? I'm sure some of that has it knows, but I mean, talk to me about what it is exactly. So
osteoporosis is just thinning of the bones, and as women get older, even men, as people age, their bones thin. And when they get too thin, it's called osteoporosis, and it does increase the risk of fracture when the bones get too thin.
Okay. So that's where we hear these older people fell and broke their hip sort of thing.
Right, right.
It stems from that sort of. Okay. Now, what would be warning signs, to look for?
That's very interesting. There often are no warning signs. Osteoporosis is what I call the silent disease. So frequently there are no warning signs, no symptoms that anybody has osteoporosis. So that's why we frequently recommend screening for osteoporosis by getting a bone density scan.
Okay.
And now the osteoporosis can have symptoms once it becomes very advanced, at the point where people get spine fractures and they cause hunching over, what we call kyphosis. At that point, then women will often have symptoms, or men can get symptoms too.
Okay.
But in the beginning stages or early stages, people have no idea that they have osteoporosis. And it does start out as something called osteopenia, usually before it would progress to osteoporosis. There's thinning of the bones that's very mild, and then there's thinning of the bones that's more severe, and then it's called osteoporosis after that.
Okay.
Now, what age group are we looking at? I mean, what age group should somebody start looking at getting a screening done?
It's definitely recommended for women to be screened once they're in menopause, because women do lose most of the bone in the first few years after menopause, after the estrogen levels drop down. But I have picked up osteoporosis in some women who are much younger, in their 40s, and some of the risk factors for osteoporosis, if somebody's very thin or they have taken medication such as Depo-Provera, that can often thin the bones, especially if women have used that for more than 5 years. So I'll often recommend screening to those that have risk factors that I think they might develop osteoporosis a little bit sooner in their life.
Okay.
So you're saying the thinner ones have got the more chance. I mean, I've got more padding, so I.
Yes, actually, it's interesting you bring that up. It's really true that fat cells do make estrogen. So women who are heavier generally make more estrogen in their body. That's why being overweight increases the risk of breast cancer and uterine cancer, because those two cancers are estrogen dependent. But that also helps protect bones when you have more estrogen around. So That is one.
So it's a
yeah, it's kind of a catch-22.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Now, is there anything that we can do in the earlier years to prevent?
Yes, and that's really what I try to get across to patients when they're in my office. Osteoporosis is mostly a disease of older women, but it is best to prevent it. It's preventable. And the best thing to do is when you're younger to get enough calcium and vitamin D. And most women do not get enough calcium and vitamin D in their diet. That's definitely been proven. You need to drink at least 3 or 4 glasses of milk every day to get enough calcium in your diet. And vitamin D really only comes from fish, milk, and very few other products, and getting your skin in the sun. Really, those are the only.
Then you get skin cancer.
Right, that's right. And if you wear your sunscreen like you're supposed to, your skin will not synthesize the vitamin D.
Okay.
So, if you don't get enough vitamin D, your body will not absorb calcium from your diet.
Okay, so should a person look into supplements if they know they're not getting, enough, say, calcium?
I had always recommended supplements for everybody until just recently. Mm-hmm. There was a study that came out, so there's what I call right now a calcium controversy, where I had always recommended that everybody take a calcium supplement if they didn't think they were getting enough from their diet. A recent study came out showing that taking calcium, if you don't have osteoporosis or thinning of your bones, may slightly increase the risk of kidney stones.
I've run into that. I've had one.
Yes,
and it was calcium related.
Most kidney stones are calcium oxalate.
Right.
So I still do recommend for most people, and especially most older women or women who are in menopause, to take calcium. But just really try and pay attention and make sure that you're not already getting enough from your diet and then taking too much with a supplement. What I have tried to get a lot of women to do is just get their calcium from their diet and then take a vitamin D supplement to help them absorb the calcium from their diet.
Okay.
It's been shown that you can safely take up to 3,000 units of vitamin D daily and not get too much of it. For most people, I do recommend just about 1,000 or 2,000 units a day. Mm-hmm. And there is actually a great supplement. It's called Maximum D3. It's actually made by a local company in Chattanooga that it's 10,000 units once a week, and I frequently recommend that supplement for women so they can just take it once a week.
Wow.
Now you said it was milk was one form. I'm thinking naturally. Milk, you said also fish. Mm-hmm. Is there other types of foods, or is there a way to find out which other foods would help on that?
It's really just salmon, tuna, and milk.
Okay.
Now, egg yolks have a very small amount. Beef liver has a very small amount of vitamin D.
Okay.
But it's really limited to those.
Okay. I didn't know if there was more that
you'd have to eat a lot of egg yolks, which is not good for your cholesterol. And most people don't like liver, so.
Yeah.
I'd say liver's one of those foods you got to cook, where you can open the windows later and air the house out.
Air the house back out.
About once every 10 years, I think, is when you eat liver.
Right. Now, if a person is concerned that, they possibly could have this, what type of testing do they, what is the procedure that you would go through?
What we do in our office is something called a bone density scan, also called a DEXA scan. And it's a very simple test. It only takes about 10 or 15 minutes. It's just a simple x-ray of the hip and the spine.
Oh, okay. So nothing really invasive.
No, it's not invasive. It's very low risk for radiation. I know a lot of people are worried about that these days, but it's very low radiation. It's just an x-ray of the hip and the spine.
Okay. And then say a person was diagnosed with osteoporosis, what type of treatment would you then recommend to them?
It really depends on a lot of things, any of their past medical history and what their other risk factors are. There's actually a tool that I like to use when women come in for their results of their bone density scan. It's called a fracture risk assessment tool. Mm-hmm. And it's put out by the World Health Organization, and it's an online tool where I enter in some other numbers, their height, their weight, and then the bone density scan really measures something we call a T-score, and that's really what helps tell me whether or not women have osteopenia or osteoporosis. It depends on what their T-score number is. And when I enter that number in there, along with their family history, if there's ever been a family history of a hip fracture in either one of their parents, then that increases their risk of osteoporosis type fractures, especially hip fractures. So that's a risk factor. If they have taken steroids chronically, especially for more than 3 months, any steroid use increases the risk of fractures due to osteoporosis. History of thyroid disease is not on there, but that is one of the risk factors also for osteoporosis. Some of the other risk factors include not being able to absorb calcium or vitamin D well if somebody were to have Crohn's disease or some GI issues. But I enter those risk factor numbers in there. It's mostly yes or no questions, and then the T-score, and it gives me their their risk of fracture over the next 10 years. And there's two numbers. One is the risk of any type of osteoporotic fracture over the next 10 years, and the other is risk of hip fracture over the next 10 years, because that's the most devastating fracture. And then based on what that number shows, I'll discuss with them the options of treatment. The main treatment that I recommend is something called a bisphosphonate. It's a type of medicine that helps to inhibit loss of bone. And it can have some side effects, and I have a lot of women that get worried about that, and they hear things on television and they don't want to take it. But really, the worst side effects are very minimal, like a 1% chance or less of getting any of the things that a lot of women are worried about when they come into my office. But it does have a little bit of a strict dosing regimen. If they choose to take it orally, which a lot of women do because insurances sometimes tend to cover that a little bit better, it has to be taken first thing in the morning with a full 8 ounces of water, no other food or drink or medicine for a half an hour after taking it. And if you don't abide by that strict dosing regimen, then that can increase the risk of side effects, which are esophageal irritation. A lot of women can get irritation of their esophagus if they don't take it correctly.
Now, is this 100% reversible, or is it just treatable and preventable, I guess you would say?
It's most definitely best prevented.
Okay.
But it is treatable. The reason that we recommend these medications are because it helps prevent fracture. It's been shown to reduce fractures of the hip and the spine by about 50%.
So what is the percentage of women that are most likely to get it? I mean, what's the percentage you see? Is it a high percent?
It's
or is
a very,
it one out of every so many?
It's a very high percent, and a lot of it really depends on what the age is of the woman. The older, the more risk of getting osteoporosis. If women do not choose to take estrogen after menopause, which a lot do not, that definitely increases the risk of osteoporosis. There are millions of people really walking around with osteoporosis.
Don't realize it.
And don't even realize
it. And probably even after they get a fracture or a bone break and go to the hospital, they're probably still not checked for it.
Right. I do see a lot of women who have seen an orthopedic surgeon and had fractures and haven't had a bone density scan. I am very surprised about that.
Usually, you got to remember that if you ever break a bone, you need to get tested. Because what age is menopause?
The average age of menopause is 51.
Oh, okay. You've got a couple of years.
A couple? That's an average age, though,
okay.
she's saying. So
right, the average age.
But you're saying around 40s or so, they need to start actually getting checked. Some ways, I mean.
I usually recommend testing after menopause, within the first few years after menopause. Okay. Many insurance companies will not cover a bone density scan until after menopause. There are some that won't cover it until women are 65.
So basically until they've already gone through half the stage of it, if they do have it.
Right.
Wow.
That's what we fight sometimes with the insurance companies.
I know.
They want you to stay healthy, but you can't stay healthy because you can't get checked for what you need to get checked for.
Preventative medicine needs to be covered much better.
Right.
You get the Obamacare now.
Let's not go there, James.
well, tell us. I mean, I guess tell us what else you do there at Life Circle, Women's Healthcare. I mean, what else? I mean, I know that's part of it, but I know you do a lot more there.
We treat all different types of gynecologic disorders. We manage abnormal pap smears, any women that have abnormal bleeding, if they want tested for infections. We do the whole wide range gamut of GYN treatment of stress urinary incontinence, leaking urine, and then all obstetrics care. We're able to handle high-risk obstetrics also because we consult with the regional obstetrical consultants. They call themselves the ROC, so we can handle women that have gestational diabetes, advanced maternal age, hypertension.
A lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's hopefully.
We do some office surgeries also.
Okay. Yeah. And prenatal. And who delivered David?
Dr. Wolf delivered David.
Dr. Wolf.
Yeah. I worked with him in Ohio.
Okay.
For 4 years before he moved here.
So see, everyone's from the north. We always run into people. We always ask, "Are you from Cleveland? You know, were you born here?" And we've found a few so far. I think everybody else has moved here.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've had the same.
We asked. I think so far we've had 3 or 4 that are actually been born here. And I'm sure there's more.
I'm sure there's more.
We just haven't had them on here yet.
We haven't met them yet.
Give us the information where Life Circle is, address, phone number, website, so people out there will know
Yeah, we're located on Ocoee Street. It's 2301 North Ocoee. It's right down the street from the intersection of 25th and Ocoee, across from Ocoee Middle School.
Okay.
Phone number?
It is 423-339-1400.
Okay.
Okay.
And we have a website.
Website, you should.
Yes. It's www.lifecirclewomenshealthcare.com.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have anything else?
W's out.
I don't. They always bring such wonderful information. It's things that, you know, we didn't know about, you know. I mean, you hear of these things, you hear little things about them, but it's always great when we have, you know, someone on. And
well, I think I've seen like the commercials, you know, on TV, and they say the side effects. And you're like, wow, you have to weigh the side effects out. But like you're saying, if you follow the regimen, then you don't have to worry about the side effects as much.
Yes. Now, one thing I don't think we mentioned, and somehow I must have skipped over this, is exercise.
Okay.
Okay.
I always recommend weight-bearing exercise for women. One of the first questions I ask them when they come in for their results of their bone density scan, no matter how old they are, even in their 60s and 70s, I'll look at them and I say, can you do any jumping? And I do have a lot of people look at me like, well, I might, you know, they say I might. And weight-bearing exercise is running, jumping, aerobics. Those types of exercises help build bone density more than any other type of exercise. And there are a lot of women that can't do that, and that's fine. Then I recommend walking, even a bicycle, any type of exercise to strengthen muscles to help prevent falls is really key in women that have osteoporosis, to prevent falls.
Okay.
So weightlifting, even though that's not technically weight-bearing, it does help.
Okay.
So
weightlifting. Carrying 2 loads of laundry at one time.
2 loads of laundry. You always incorporate it into work somehow.
I try.
There was a very interesting study, though, where that came from. Out in British Columbia, Vancouver, they did a study with school-age children, and they checked their bone density before they started a study called Bounce the Bell. And they took half the class, and half the class did 10 jumping jacks every time the bell rang, and the other half of the class did not. And then they checked their bone density scan at the end of the study, and the kids that did the jumping jacks when the bell rang had an increase in their bone density compared to the kids that didn't do jumping jacks.
Well, see, I spent several years in the military, and we did a lot of jumping jacks.
That's good.
A lot of running, so I did a lot of...
you just got away from that, though, didn't you?
A couple years ago.
So I tell a lot of women to go out and buy a jump rope.
Buy a jump rope.
Definitely.
Are you coordinated to do a jump rope?
I can do a jump rope, James.
We need to do a coordination test first. She fell up the stairs once, so I've never let her live it down. So, well, do we have anything else? I mean, anything else that we've missed? Anything else you can add?
Let's see. She talked about the risk factors, and
testing, treatment,
you know, and
prevention.
You mentioned knowing your family history, and that's real good because.
Is it hereditary?
Yes.
It is. Okay.
Yes, that's definitely hereditary.
Okay, so that'd be important for my sisters. I have 4 sisters, so.
So being thin is a risk factor. Family history, smoking also
no smoking
increases the risk, and lack of estrogen. Being in menopause.
So get out and do your jumping jacks.
Definitely, or buy a jump rope.
Or buy a jump rope. Sounds like work, James.
Hey, it's either that or fractures.
We need it, though. We need it. We definitely need it. Okay, well, we appreciate you being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
And hope to have you back again, because you bring, you know, Life Circle always brings in wonderful information.
I have an unlimited amount of topics I could probably speak.
Well,
monthly right there. There's monthly guest, folks. Look forward to we will find the next one. I guess next month we have another one. You gave a lot of great information, and you spoke slowly.
Did I? Good. Yeah. I tried.
Well, Stacey, want to take us out?
Sure. Folks, refill your cup of coffee and get a paper and pencil. You may need it to jot down, and just in case you missed some of this information. We've got another guest coming up right after this break.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Logan Thompson, attorneys at law, have built a firm offering quality legal services to the people and businesses of Southeast Tennessee. We have achieved expertise in all areas of law in order to represent our clients in a manner they need, deserve, and have come to expect. Logan Thompson, with 9 attorneys and an extensive and competent support staff, is available to provide representation in various legal areas, including family law, Social Security benefits, personal injury, criminal defense, workmen's compensation, as well as business and complex litigation matters. At Logan Thompson, we have been building a tradition of legal services for over 40 years. We have developed the finest legal services and are proficient in providing you with representation you can trust. Give us a call at 423-476-2251 to schedule your free consultation.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy.
Welcome back, folks. We just had great information.
Yes, we did.
Great information. So,
I feel like my back's to you,
if we have another commercial coming up, you know what? Grab a glass of milk, 2 glasses of milk, 3 glasses of milk. You know what? Prevent it. Prevent that fractured your bones, that weak bones. Drink the milk. But Stacy, introduce our next guest. Stacy. Well, Stacy. There's 2 Stacys.
Hey, you just did. Do you feel surrounded by Stacys?
Yeah.
On your Friday morning, here sits 2 Stacys. Welcome, Stacy. We're glad to have you back with us again. We had you on last month.
Yes,
and
glad to be back.
I felt like last month we really didn't get the effect of what your organization does, just because you're a survivor.
Right.
And you have an awesome testimony. And but you also have some very exciting news in your lap there that I know you're very eager to share. So let's start with that.
I know. Since I was here last time, prior to my visit, I had requested a proclamation from the state of Tennessee to announce that April would be recognized as Esophageal Cancer Awareness Month. And I am very excited to share that Governor Haslam has signed the proclamation announcing that April is recognized by the state of Tennessee as Esophageal Cancer Awareness Month. And so on the website, ecan.org, you can go and see all the states that are turning periwinkle by getting proclamations from their state, and it's quite exciting. I think we have maybe 5 states left, in the U.S., so it's pretty neat to see everybody turning periwinkle.
Right.
Is that hard to do
for
to get a month?
No, the proclamation request is not very difficult. As long as it hasn't been requested, I think before was my understanding, and I just went online, submitted the request, submitted a little bit of documentation, just kind of walked through the process. Some states, I think, require you to might have to mail in your request, but a lot of the states now have online, request forms that you can fill out.
Thanks to the internet.
Thank goodness. I know. Technology is wonderful.
What would we do without the internet?
Yeah, I think, usually it takes, I think, maybe anywhere from, 3 to 6 weeks, depending on your state. But my mother got one for Hawaii, for the state of Hawaii, so it was pretty neat to have that. And
pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's really exciting.
Now you can say, you know what, this is my month.
I know. I was like, we were really excited to have that recognized, and so we're just, it's a big deal. Of course, I would have probably picked a different proclamation, if I could have actually chosen something rather than doing the esophageal cancer. But that's what I've got, so that's what I'm working with.
Okay, you raised awareness.
That's right. It's very important to raise awareness, and that's what ECAN. They're established 501c3 charity, and the biggest thing is raising funds and awareness to teach people. I guess the big slogan is heartburn can cause cancer, and this is one of their T-shirts. And actually, this weekend we have our big rush to get everybody registered to guarantee that you get a T-shirt, a race day T-shirt for the Paint the Town Periwinkle. Paint the Town Periwinkle will be held April 13th in Athens, Tennessee, just down the road, exit 49. Right here between Knoxville and Chattanooga, and we'll start at noon is the registration, on-site registration. But if you go online this weekend, you'll be guaranteed to get a T-shirt, and you'll just pick it up at the registration table. And since we've had all the rain, that's going to be a nice sunny day.
That's right, the rain will be out of the way, won't it?
We go ahead and get rid of the April showers in March.
Right.
And so we've got it planned, the sun will be out, and it's just going to be a really fun-filled day. And we've got great music lined up, and it's a little challenging course for your typical 5Ks, but it's I said, when you think about what cancer patients go through during their chemo treatments, the 3.1 mile route will be nothing. I would rather do a 5K than chemo treatments any day.
Definitely.
So.
I was practicing. We had a flat tire last week. And
I expect to see you there.
I walked 2.2 miles, 25 degrees on Friday mornings, so I was practicing.
Well, and it helps with osteoporosis too.
Yeah, you were getting it all.
So you need to do it. So you need to go do the 5K.
That's right.
And piggyback.
Oh.
So you're weight bearing. She said weight bearing. So you just
that's right.
There you go.
So not only will you be helping a good cause, you'll also be helping yourself in the weight bearing exercise.
There we go.
So it's
yeah. See there.
Killing two birds with one stone. Yeah.
And I can carry a glass of milk.
That's right. Exactly. You'll be set. I know. I'll have to make sure Mayfield Dairy is on site. With samples of milk to keep everybody healthy.
There we go.
Well, explain to folks that that may not have watched the last show that you was on.
What is Paint the Town Periwinkle?
Right.
Paint the Town Periwinkle is an esophageal cancer awareness day to benefit ECAN. ECAN is the Esophageal Cancer Action Network. They're located in Maryland, and you can go to www.ecan.org and learn more about their organization. We have events all over the U.S. going on to paint your town periwinkle if you can't attend here in Athens. We have a remote site, participation option, as well as on-site participation option. It's going to be a fun-filled day. We're starting with the 5K run walk, and then after that we'll have, we have a motorcycle poker run available. There's going to be a car show. We have family activities. I have 8 children, so it's naturally a very family-oriented event. And then we've got live bands from 3 till 9 p.m. And then we're going to have a wide variety of different food vendors and health vendors. We're doing a health and wellness fair so that people can come and learn about healthy lifestyle, learn more about esophageal cancer. My cancer was attributed to silent reflux. So it was something I had and didn't know about, which was very frightening. It's a very deadly disease. And so we're going to have vendors there that will help share, if you have acid reflux, GERD, heartburn, Barrett's esophagus, things like that, things that you can do. You can, talk to the different healthcare vendors and learn more about what symptoms to be aware of and things like that. But I guess ultimately it's also an excuse for me to have a big party, and I want everybody to be there. And and so we have, I guess I haven't checked since this morning, but we had at least 14% of our fundraising goal met already. So we're doing really well with our fundraising. We do have prizes for, you know, most funds raised by any one team or an individual. And, you know, we got a little competition going. We've got some college kids at Tennessee Wesleyan College participating, and we've got some Cleveland State Community College students participating, and trying to get just all the different community groups involved, because cancer, you know, affects all different walks of life. And of course, with this particular cancer, acid reflux affects people from all walks of life. So I said I would like to have everybody from all walks of life at my party.
Now explain to us a time, date, where the walk's at. I mean, you say it was in Athens, but just go to it again.
Okay.
Just let us know.
It's Athens Regional Park, April 13th, and it's going to start at 12 noon until about 9 o'clock at night. And that regional park is right off of exit 49. I mean, probably less than a mile down the road. If you take coming from Cleveland, you'll turn right, and it's probably about a mile down on the right. And you'll see signs. We'll probably have balloons out or something, and mark periwinkle balloons, and mark the spot so everybody will be able to find it. But just follow the line of cars. I expect to have lots of attendance. The race registration fee is $25. Okay. That is where we are.
Per person or per group?
It's per person. Okay. 10 and under is free. And then we have, hopefully we'll get extra donations. My goal is to raise all the money prior to the event, so that, you know, anything over and above will just be exciting, but we don't have to worry about where are we going to get the last $2,000 today. And, you know, I hope that the event is a community event. It's free. We want people to come out. We want people to learn about health and wellness. I really wanted to be able to provide an event that's free to the community and meet my fundraising goal. So I hope and pray that, you know, that goal is met. And I think together we can, you know, make a difference and save lives and get the goal raised. I mean, we're doing really well, but I'm working more on. It's $25,000. Okay, 25. So I'm still working on the 1,000 people, $25.
That's not a lot if you really push it.
Yeah, $25. You know, think if you go to Starbucks, you know, that's 4 or 5 coffees, and you know, maybe a week of no coffee, and drink milk, and you know, and donate to the cause. And but there's I think a lot of families can find that, you know, we can contribute that $25, even $1. I said every dollar it adds up, and so. The lesser amounts, you just need more volume. And I would love to have more people in attendance. And I just want people to learn about this disease and be aware, especially the ones that have active reflux and that take maybe the over-the-counter medicines, and you know, be aware of what symptoms can occur and can change that you might want to discuss with your doctor. And you know, I wish I had known that I had symptoms, you know, until it was too late. I've been very blessed because I responded well to the chemotherapy treatment. You know, I have no idea what the future will hold, but being pregnant with baby number 9, a fantastically healthy pregnancy. I'm 23 weeks and 2 days, you know, just doing fantastic. And so it's exciting.
Definitely.
Sometimes I have to pinch myself and go, wow, I can't believe, you know, you're in this body and this is your story.
Well, let's go to your story, but let's go to a commercial break first, because I want to. Because a lot of people may not have watched the show last time or caught it, and I want to tell your story. Go over it from the start and what you went through, to get a better understanding why you're behind this, why this is important to you. It's, you know, it's just not something you picked up and say, let's do this, but there's a whole story there, and I want people to hear it, to know it, and find out why you're so you know, energetic about why this is important to you.
Okay.
Folks, we're going to take a commercial break, but stay here. Stacy's going to, when we come back, we'll hear from Stacy and her story of why this is important and why this should be important to everyone else. So. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Logan Thompson, attorneys at law, have built a firm offering quality legal services to the people and businesses of Southeast Tennessee. We have achieved expertise in all areas of law in order to represent our clients in a manner they need, deserve, and have come to expect. Logan Thompson, with 9 attorneys and an extensive and competent support staff, is available to provide representation in various legal areas, including family law, Social Security benefits, personal injury, criminal defense, workmen's compensation, as well as business and complex litigation matters. At Logan Thompson, we have been building a tradition of legal services for over 40 years. We have developed the finest legal services and are proficient in providing you with representation you can trust. Give us a call at 423-476-2251 to schedule your free consultation.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here. Doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy.
Welcome back, folks. We want to get right back to Stacy and her story. She has a phenomenal, a phenomenal testimony of, you know, it's not just her excitement of this event. There's a reason behind why she's so excited about her event. Stacy, kind of start from the beginning and just kind of.
I guess I'll start. I guess in March of 2011, I had our 8th baby, and then in about October, I started losing weight. You know, and I was breastfeeding, and I'm thinking, wow, you know, great, because I'm in my 40s, and so it was quite exciting. And then I had a swallowing issue. I thought my food went down my throat the wrong way, or then I thought maybe I have a piece of hay stuck in my throat because we had just finished hay season and we have a small farm. And you know, I couldn't figure out, well, it started getting consistent. And I came here to my cardiologist. I thought, let's start, you know, is this heart related? Because sometimes swallowing difficulties can be related to your heart. And he said, let's go to the GI doctor, gastroenterologist. So I went to the local GI doctor here in Cleveland, and we were scheduled to do an endoscopy. And it was discovered that I was pregnant. Again. I surprise! Wow. And so I postponed the endoscopy, thinking, well, let's see how this pregnancy, maybe it's pregnancy related. You know, everything seems to be pregnancy related when you're pregnant. But my issue continued, and my pregnancy failed. I had a pregnancy loss in December, at the end of December, and I thought, you know, I need to figure out what's going on. Well, my weight loss kept getting more pronounced, and I think I'd probably lost between 30 and 40 pounds, which was pretty extreme weight loss in just a few months. That's not normal. And even though it was exciting, it was not normal. And then I continued to have the swallowing issue. And then I started having chest pains. And so I went to a local ER, and I was monitored. They did a stress test, and I got sent home, and I thought everything was okay. I was there for overnight, and went home. It was my birthday. I was 43, and thought everything was great. You know, posted, I'm healthy, everything's wonderful, but I'm still having this problem, so I'm not sure what's going on. And another week went by. My husband had to go on a trip. He went on his trip, came home, and by the end of that second week, I could not eat, I could not drink a sip of water. Anything that I put in my mouth, I would immediately get sick. And my husband said, that's it. We're going, you know, to a different doctor, office, or hospital. So he took me to the hospital, and I went in on a Saturday. 4 days later, you have stage 4 esophageal cancer. And they did a heart cath, and then they did an endoscopy. During the endoscopy procedure, they found a tumor in my lower third esophagus, and it was fairly large enough that it was blocking, I guess, the passage to my stomach. So they did several biopsies, and then it came back malignant. And further discovery, it was in my lymph nodes and my liver. So it was in my bloodstream, and which is very scary. I was not a surgery candidate because it was stage 4, and because it was in my liver. And so we talked to a radiation oncologist, spent a couple hours with him, but because it was in my liver, radiation was not an option. My only option was chemo or another alternative form, but we decided to go ahead and listen to the doctors and pray, and lots of prayer. And I actually had a sign on my hospital door that said, please pray before entering. And sorry.
Definitely.
Yeah, but it'll take me just 1 second.
That's okay. That's okay.
Anyway, I started chemo February 13th last year, or in 2012, and I ended up completing 12 rounds of chemo. Every other week, I did about 50 hours of chemo. I still actually have my port, and
Sorry.
And so I was very blessed. After 6 rounds of chemo, all the main cancer was gone, and I still had a very small spot on my liver. So my liver, or my cancer, was also HER2 positive, the tumor. And so I also did another drug called Herceptin. And so we continued that. I did about 3 or 4 more, I guess about 3 more rounds. And at the end of that time period, I had to go I had a peg tube that I had a peg tube put in because I couldn't eat and drink. I used a feeding tube for about 60 days. And then when I went to get the peg tube removed, during their pre-op check, they told me I was pregnant. I thought, really? Because they say God only gives you what you can handle. And at first I thought 8 kids was enough. And then I got the cancer and did the cancer thing. Now, pregnant, which is very exciting and scary all at the same time, because now you have the cancer in your body, and you just hope that you've been healed and it's gone. And I've had an absolutely wonderful pregnancy. And sometimes I wake up and go, did I really have cancer last year? Because I don't look like I had cancer. I don't feel like I had cancer. And, I know it was just, God's healing touch is what has made a lot of difference. And I said, when you hear about miracles, I said, this is probably the biggest visual ever. And to see God's hand at work. And I'm incredibly blessed. And because so many people die within the first year of stage 4 for this particular cancer, I was very excited to be alive and be able to host this event. So, sorry.
That's okay.
But it's really important because I have the opportunity to share the story and to make a difference. And so that's what I'd like to do. But I need your help. I need everyone's help, and because you cannot do it alone. You have to do, there's definitely strength in numbers, and so that's why I chose the fundraising goal that we did, and because I thought, I can find 1,000 people to donate $25,
Right.
And I would love to be able to write the check myself. It would make it a lot easier, but we know things worth doing require hard work, and And so I'm very excited about Paint the Town Periwinkle, and you know, I'm very excited to you know, be here to even, you know, share the, you know, the event with people, and so I'm just excited every day. I said every day is a great day. You don't realize life is definitely a gift, and I said it didn't take cancer for me to realize that, because I said it just solidified the fact.
Right.
You know, we all know life is short. I mean, you never know what you know, every day you're given, you better just find the good in that day, right, because you never know when it might be your last. And so I hope everybody will come to Paint the Town Periwinkle, or go to the website, ecan.org, Paint the Town Periwinkle. You know, be generous in your donations, and help us paint the world periwinkle. My sister is actually doing a sister race in Thailand, in Bangkok, Thailand. They'll have a Paint the Town Periwinkle 5K. And my mother, they'll be doing one in Hawaii. And then we've got, you know, different events around the U.S. And so it's really exciting to see everybody working together. And we want East Tennessee on the map. And so I think it's going to be a really exciting day.
Okay.
Definitely.
So that's my story.
I told you it was a touching story. It just,
that's
it
why
is.
we contacted. I mean, Stacey
Yeah.
had found you on Facebook and was reading it, and said, you know, we've got to have you on the show.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not something you just talk about. You know, if you've not gone through it, you've gone
Right.
through it.
It's definitely, you know, you don't realize. Of course, I felt like it was an out of body experience. I'm like, no, I can't have cancer. I have small children, you know, and you know, and who knows? You never understand why some people live through their treatments and some people don't. It's just a crazy world, and you just go, well, for whatever reason, I'm still here, and I need to make a difference, and you know, and that's what I hope to do, and
Right.
And I hope to get to see my children grow up,
Right.
and live a long life with my husband. We've been married 17 years,
Wow.
so hope
We're
we
on
get-
18.
Yeah, so I hope we get many, many more. But yeah, every day is a gift. So
Definitely.
Well, let's go ahead and just tell about tell the where it's at and everything again.
Okay.
You know, the event and everything. Just kind of give the information again for people that may be tuning in late, so they will know.
Okay, Paint the Town Periwinkle will be held April 13th, which is it's the second Saturday of April. The event will start at 12 noon. We'll have registration from 12 to 1, and then we'll have opening remarks, and the race will start about 1:30. So try to pre-register at www.ecan.org/Paint the Town Periwinkle, and you can form a team. We will have prizes for the top fundraising team or the top individual. You know, feel free to donate. You know, if you're not able to participate, you can do the remote option. You get the T-shirt if you do it before Monday, and even if you don't want to walk or run, get the T-shirt and come join us. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Okay.
I think it'll just be a lot of fun all day.
It's my excuse to have a big party. There's a lot of things going on, and you know, people have been so kind and generous in planning this event, and it's very exciting to have everybody working together to make this happen. And I can only do it because of the kindness of everybody that's participating and helping make this a reality. So.
Well, I don't know what to say.
No, I'm still teary-eyed here, James.
It's a great story. I mean,
It is.
to be the survivor like that you can do this, that you can go on and say, you know what, I survived this, but I don't want anybody else to have to go through this.
Right. I said I did the cancer thing. Now I'm back on the well side of healthcare. It's way more fun.
And you come out the other side with an extra person.
I said
that right there is
Yeah.
phenomenal. You know,
It really is.
You know,
It's,
you lost that one pregnancy, and then you know, there was a reason.
Right, and so my body had to heal, and you know, pregnancy is a sign of health, and so you know, I was quite excited. At the same time, a little scared because you don't know. Once everybody has cancer cells, they don't know what if we could just figure out what triggers them, it would be, you know, the end to
Much
this
easier.
Horrible thing. It would be great. So all you kids get out there and figure out a cure.
Get on your cell phone,
That's
you know,
right.
radiation to figure out.
I know. I said it'll be a great day when the cure is discovered.
Show us the shirt again. I mean,
Okay.
Did we get a close up of the shirt?
Yeah, we've got
on the back there. Yeah, there we go. Heartburn can cause cancer, and it's www.ecan.org. And we also have on there too the address of where they can go and register. I believe is up there. Yes, Paint the Town Periwinkle, and just go. I mean, sign up, register. Like Stacey said, you don't even have to have you know, to run. You can just donate. I mean,
Right.
you're trying to raise to 25,000. You'd like to see a lot more than that, but I mean, you know, 25,000 at least meet your goal.
Right. I would love to have everybody in attendance, but if you're not available, we would love to have your donation. It would help us, you know, reach our goal and promote awareness. And if you register now, you'll get a T-shirt, and then that helps promote awareness when you wear your shirt. And just share the link also. If you'll share ecan.org and tell people about the event that's going on here in East Tennessee, that helps greatly, because the more people that are aware, the more people that have the opportunity to participate. And you know, that's the other thing I ask people is just share the link. Go mention it to friends and family, because you don't know who might have been affected by this. And you know, I've met many people who've lost loved ones to esophageal cancer, and it was something I'd never heard about.
Right.
And so you know, it's definitely there are a few, you know, several residents here in Cleveland that are battling this disease. And you know, so you never know what friend, family, you know, loved one that may have, you know, known somebody or be affected, or who may be affected in the future. So it's important to bring awareness, I think.
Now, you also have a Facebook page, correct?
Yes.
What is that? Because I mean, that's the fastest way we could get the word out is people start liking it. I mean,
right. We have facebook.com / Paint the Town Periwinkle. And then if you want to see more about my story, there's Heart of a Survivor / Stacey Alexander, if you can remember that. But that tells a little bit more. It has pictures of my children and things like that on it. And even on the ECAN website, there's a link of stories. And there's a story that was in the Daily Post Athenian early on in my treatment that's on the website. And so people can read that and kind of, you know, get a little more idea of, you know, what, and see what other people go through. There's several stories on there. Okay. And, you know, Humphrey Bogart was a esophageal cancer patient. Richard Dawson. There's several famous celebrities who've died from this. And then there's just, you know, several people in the community. It's a very devastating disease. And but I've also met people. I went to Atlanta for a luncheon and met, you know, a dozen people who have, you know, are 10 years out, which is exciting. So you never know. And but a positive mental attitude and prayer and humor get you through.
9 kids.
And yeah. I said that'll do it.
Well, so. Stacey, we do appreciate you being on the show. We're out of time. We're down to just the last few seconds, minutes of the show. But we do appreciate you being on. And it's not till April 13th, so we have to have you on again.
Yeah.
To talk about it.
I think we can make that happen.
But we do appreciate you being on here. And
I appreciate you having me.
It's a great honor for you to be here for us, and you know, be here and let the people know what's going on and everything. We do appreciate that.
Thank you.
Folks, we're out of time. We'll again air again at noon to 1. If you don't get everyone to get to see this, just spread the word. Let everybody know. Go to ecan.org. .org/Paint the Town Periwinkle, or to the Facebook page, Paint the Town Periwinkle, and like the page. Donate to the cause. Sign up for the run, walk, whatever it is. But anyway, get a call to action. And we appreciate everything that you do. And we'll see you again next Friday.